Fatima. I'm the public service director at Austin, and this is Daniel, our club president. We're proud to present the story of our client who, beyond the nonprofit, is a Texan family who saw a problem in their community and out of their own good and heart decided to take action. In April of 2023, the Independent School District of Pflugerville, Texas, implemented an alternative lunch policy where students with at least $6 in lunch debt would have their hot cafeteria meal taken away and replaced with a cold cheese sandwich. So imagine being a student in line with your friends and just face the humiliation of having your lunch taken away because you're out of funds. So inspired by this motive and concerned with the nutritional damage and the psychological impact this had on classmates, fellow siblings John and Max Adler, of only 14 and 16 years of age, were touched with empathy and along with their mother, Corey, decided to found Food Fairness for Pflugerville, a nonprofit with a very clear mission, ensuring no student had to ever choose between hunger and humiliation. When we were looking at our potential clients, we knew that our ideal nonprofit would have to be someone with authentic needs, but also a strong mission. Food Fairness did check all of these boxes, but also they represented true Texan spirit, because they were by reflecting being a next door neighbor to our community.
Food Fairness first year, they successfully gathered $12,000 in donations, which paid off the entire 2022-2023 Pflugerville ISD school lunch debt, To understand that impact, you first need to understand where Pflugerville is. Pflugerville is a small town right outside of Austin. It has a population of 160,000 people. As of 2023, almost 6% of that population fell below the poverty line. And not all of the families qualify for free and reduced lunch of that population. So what is the issue? Well, one of the biggest issues is the federal income guidelines. They don't account for local cost of living. For example, a family of 4 must earn less than $58,000 annually before taxes to qualify. Whether that's 2 parents and 2 kids, or 1 single parent and 3 kids, 3 kids. This policy leaves families earning too much to qualify for this free and reduced. This policy leaves families earning too much to qualify for free and reduced lunch, stuck in a financial limbo, struggling to keep up with their kids' daily lunch fees. And this is exactly what our client aims to close. Corianne is responsible for building the foundation for their media presence. She built the website, manages donations, runs the socials, handles PR, all while making sure that her boys make it to school on time. But media literacy isn't her background, and she had to take the time to learn as she goes. Our primary goal as their creative partners was to help strengthen their already trustworthy brand voice and create consistent designs across all channels and stand out from other programs to attract the attention for parents looking for that financial help. Our secondary goal was to create a sustainable media presence for their team to utilize for years to come. Ultimately, this campaign will help their mission in ensuring that Pflugerville ISD students receive nutritious meals free of the debt-induced stigma, while increasing public awareness of this program.
Our secondary research revealed that in Pflugerville, the most common racial or ethnic group living below the poverty line is white, followed by Hispanic. And while 54% of students are officially classified as economically disadvantaged and do qualify for free reduced lunch, it still leaves a huge portion of students who could use the help but just don't make less enough to qualify for this help. And through our primary research of 35 online surveys with parents and 8 interviews with faculty and staff members, we discovered very valuable insights. First, parents are overall just very overwhelmed with everything already going on in their lives and in their children's school. And they're just simply too busy to even know where to start looking for help. Also, they aren't even sure that they qualify for assistance because processes are super complicated. And then third, language barriers could also play a huge factor in stopping them from getting the help they need. Now, you think a nonprofit that helps pay student lunch debts would be easily promoted on school grounds, right? Well, this wasn't our case. Understandably so, the district policies weren't very fond of us spreading the message that they were taking meals away from kids. So it was very important to us that we maintain a really good relationship with the district as a supporting partner, and we had to avoid any hero versus villain messaging. We just wanted to be on the same page and let them know that at the end of the day, the goal is still the same, to feed the kids. These findings helped us clearly define our target audience. It's parents who are struggling financially, but just don't qualify for free or reduced lunch within the Pflugerville Independent School District. And now we know family dynamics are all very different and unique, so we needed to narrow down this target audience and create a persona that represented our target.
So, let's meet Miriam. Miriam is a busy Hispanic single mother of 3. She balances work and family life as best as she can. She knows that help is out there for financial, but she doesn't have the time or energy to dig through all the papers that her 3 kids bring home. So how and where do we find Miriam? Well, the research tells us that advertising and promoting nonprofits within the school district has a lot of red tape, and that we need to look into these third spaces, such as community hubs and local businesses. And from our survey results, we know that this community loves to spend their time outside of work and school at churches, parks, and at shopping for their family. After understanding our target audience's needs, our communication strategy became clear. Parents don't need pity, they need clarity. So instead of emphasizing the struggle, we focused our strategy on being simple and supportive. This led to our strategy approach: something on their plate, one less thing on yours.
And when we first presented this strategy to Corey, she was fully on board, but she did express one single concern. She just didn't want the messaging to come across as critical of the school district, implying negligency on their side. Because in her own words, I guess it's not ideal, but a sandwich is still something on their plate. So we focused every piece of her public-facing communication in reinforcing our mission: easy help without the shame, instead of going for this empty plate messaging. And with that in mind, we crafted a tagline that felt optimistic, clear, and that it aligned with the values of our nonprofit: full plates, clear minds. Moving on to her branding, we decided to honor their scholar vibe, but with an elevated feel that looked cleaner and concise, because their original branding was very cluttered and very confusing. Then we also felt like they needed something to make them more memorable and identifiable, something like a mascot. So we explored a few original options. The first one, an otter, because we felt they represented unity and community. But John and Nat said they were giving off SeaWorld vibes. And fair enough. They also said kids don't really like fish for food, so they really wanted to move away from this alternative. And we moved into a very different direction, which, thank God, because we found the perfect mascot for this nonprofit: bees. Just think about it. Bees are smart, hardworking, team members, essential to the community, and most importantly, essential food providers. So for a new logo, it was important to keep the original P and F wordplay tagging to Pflugerville, but just make it less confusing for those readers who are unfamiliar with what even Pflugerville is or how to pronounce it. So the solution, we color merged the P and the F into the same yellow to read as a single letter and a sound, and then the B, just like our nonprofit, is standing right beside Pflugerville. For the new palette, we went for colors that were very bright and playful, but still kept it professional and readable. And for typography, per Corey's request, we kept the childlike pamphlet and font, but with a cleaner version that was much more readable and accessible through Canva. For the new website, we simplified the version with we simplified the previous navigation with simplified tabs and reduced the visual clutter. We streamlined the tabs, we made concise copy, and we added cleaner layouts. And we chose Wix as a platform because it has a very user-friendly interface for Corey to be able to maintain in the future. And then also it had really complete analytics tools, making it easier for her to track her success. We led our campaign with a tagline on the homepage. We led the campaign with a tagline on the homepage to ensure consistency across all our touch points, and then the tabs were simplified to the essentials: what we do, who we are, sign up, press, and a CTA button to donate. This structure streamlined the site exploration and directed users quickly to the information that mattered. And then recognizing that confusion and lack of transparency were also major barriers for people to sign up, we designed a simple mental map to walk parents through the eligibility steps. And then in response to the language barriers, we translated key forms into English, Spanish, and Vietnamese, the most common languages spoken in the area per our client's request.
We transform our clients' cluttered Instagram into a clear, welcoming space with branded visuals, a rebrand post, FAQs, and concise bio. To ensure sustainability, we built a tailored content calendar paired with Canva templates and a free pro account. After a step-by-step tutorial from our team, Corey quickly took the reins, confidently managing and scheduling posts on her own in just 3 minutes. We updated their social posts with the new branded content. We provided their team with easy-to-use assets and tools as promised for their long-term use. Our top-performing post was the rebrand announcement with over 1,000 views, the April bi-weekly update, and the rebrand organic reel with over 600 views each. And over 2 months, we saw our final social media KPIs resulting in a 13% Instagram increase and 0.5% Facebook increase, while expecting an increase of interactions to coincide with the upcoming school year as parents begin looking into school-related programs in the fall.
Now for out-of-home assets, we identified high-traffic locations in the Pflugerville area that all targeted our aimed audience, including local businesses, Hispanic restaurants, and community centers like public libraries. And we placed 20 other posters throughout these locations to drive awareness and more website traffic through the QR code. Now, design was very intentional at every layer of these posters. Each poster set was designed as a pair to follow the viewer's natural reading flow from left to right. So if you see the left poster, it features a parent's handwritten style to-do list, but with the final line, lunch, basically crossed out by the trail of the bus and bee. This same bus and bee trail matches the brand signature yellow color or whatever any other color we decided to put, directly linking the visual metaphor that food fairness is here to help, crossing out the last thing to do on your list. And below the headline reads, one less thing to worry about. A simple, clear expression of the nonprofit's impact and mission. The poster to the right reinforces the message, it briefly explains how they help, and it prompts you to ACTA through a QR code that takes you to a website for more information and website traffic.
We also filmed an interview featuring the founders and took updated professional headshots to strengthen their social media presence and to also use within their press kits. To amplify awareness and credibility even more, our media team pitched the story to local news outlets, securing 2 major interviews and meaningful community partnership. One interview is with Fox 7 News to be featured in their education news segment. The other one is with KUT Austin. And we also partnered with Ballet Austin, where the coordinator graciously gave over 2 tickets so food fairness can use as they please, whether that's a donation or a fundraiser item.
So from branding to posters and press coverage, every deliverable we created had one clear objective in mind: to make food fairness easier to find, easier to trust, and most importantly, easier for them to maintain. And while our team did feel very honored to donate our time to such a heartfelt cause, and grateful to work with such appreciative clients, it's important to recognize the value of their contributions. So based on Austin standard rates for the advertising market, and considering our team of 9 junior professionals, all with corresponding bachelor's degrees and agency training, this project represented a significant time and talent investment.
And looking at the Austin market, we compiled our numbers, and it would have costed food fairness about $14,000 in order to complete this campaign. The campaign itself was not just a labor of love, it was a fully integrated, strategically driven partnership. And it delivered real value at no cost to a family working tirelessly every day to uplift their community. And because when a parent is overwhelmed, the last thing they need is red tape. And when a student is at school, the last thing they need to worry about is a cold cheese sandwich.